Welcome to Everybody Gonna Shine. This is Tiffany.
And I'm Valerie. We're the creators of Everybody Gonna Shine.
So this is about bringing out the best in ourselves, yourselves, and everyone.
We're excited to have you here with us for this episode.
Hey, I'm Tiffany Murphy, and I'm the Chief Creative Question Officer for Everybody Gonna Shine.
And I'm Valerie Stephan, the Chief Energizing Engineer. Does that sound right? Sure, let's go with that.
You bring the energy. I love it.
So we wanted to answer a few questions, kind of introduce what the vodcast, whatever you're going to call this, is. And the first one we wanted to answer is, what is Everybody Gonna Shine about? And really what it's about is starting a conversation surrounding how to create the best possible place where you go to every day, your work. It's about growing and celebrating our organizational culture, deepening the connections between all of us as sort of far-flung employees with two physical locations, but a lot of mobile folks who work out in the field or work from home and maybe don't get a chance to talk as often as we'd like in person. And really just at its most basic, it's about bringing out the best in both ourselves and everybody around us. So this season, we'll learn more about some of the amazing people who work here at Bright, thinking about the qualities that really makes for engagement and work.
So one of the biggest questions that we've already received is, where can we find the episodes? So this is an internal podcast. So we have private profiles on YouTube, Instagram, and then a podcast site called Transistor. So we'll send an email with follow-up so that you can be a part of the conversation, but we'll also send you some directions on how to use our private RSS link to follow us through your favorite podcast app. So whether you use an Android or an Apple phone, you'll be able to listen to the podcast through whatever podcasting app that you currently use. So we'll send out those directions so that you can link up with our site in just a little bit.
Cool. So let's tell you a little bit about the schedule for this, our first season. So each week we're going to do a video promo. It's sort of like a teaser, but it's also a standalone that kind of gives you a little bit of a summation of what the full-length podcast is about. And the podcast itself is audio. So that'll drop later in the week. And it'll be a deeper dive on the topic or sort of more of a complete full interview of the employee that we're talking to that week. So week by week, we're gonna do interviews with your coworkers, and then usually the following week we'll explore a topic or something that sparked interest, giving you maybe some tips and ideas in the learning and development department.
And we're really excited to dig into these topics, so we can't wait for you to join us. We definitely want this to be an open forum, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you have topics you're interested in us to discuss on the show, please let us know, especially if you'd like to be interviewed. We'd love to have you for an episode. So you can email us, you can Slack us, drop a comment on the YouTube channel or on Instagram. And just remember, these are all private and they're not open to the public. So you don't have to worry about anybody else seeing them, but we'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts are and topics that you'd like to see for the show.
How do you feel, Tiffany?
I'm definitely excited and nervous and scared. Oh my goodness. How do you feel, Valerie?
Same. Right. This has really been like a passion project for us, both Tiffany and I. We totally love podcasts in general. We're both people who read a lot and do a lot of exploration on our own, especially with our learning and development background. So this is like nervous, heart in the throat. I hope
you like it.
So, see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. We'd love to hear what makes you shine, how you felt about this episode, and any topics you'd be interested in us discussing in the future.
You can subscribe or follow, like, and comment on YouTube and Instagram. We're always glad to hear from you at everybodygonashine@gmail.com. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.